trying to play through it various times?
Yeah, I think just starting off from the gate. I mean, going into training camp feeling as good as I've ever felt. Great shape, ready to go, enthused, and excited after signing a nice contract. So going right into training camp, and I think I got banged up the first couple of days in training camp. Took a hit or whatever. Played through the preseason, and it was the first 3 games, 5 games I had the toe injury. So from that point on, I was never really back to where I wanted to be, and the toe was more annoying than actually painful. And so I missed some time with that, and then the back crept in, and that was for the majority of the year. And some days better than others, and some games better than others. And sometimes it reflected. I had good games while I was hurting, and I had bad games while I was fresh. But sometimes it did affect the way I was playing, and so something I'll try to take care of in this off season is look and see what I can do better myself. And if it's nothing I can do, then it's nothing I can do. But just try to shore some things up so it doesn't happen again. And then the thumb came, and a whole list of other things, hip pointer in game 3 or whatever So the last 4 games was moving half speed out there, but we won a championship. So all of those things kind of wash away, and feeling pretty good now. So obviously we wouldn't have got the job done. All my injuries would have been hurting a lot worse, but I'm feeling pretty good now.
Is it just kind of prehab and rehab type stuff you need to do?
Yeah, it's nothing major. I mean, I sprained my other thumb a few weeks ago, so I may just go get it looked at just because you never know. But I kind of been holding out just in fear that something is wrong with it. So we didn't get any pictures done. It was manageable, and so if I end up in New York, I may stop by and see the specialist, but nothing major. Everything else is just bumps and bruises.
For the thumbs, how much did that affect? Like we talked about Kyle's all through the last 3 rounds.
Yeah, I mean, you see the way I've been shooting lately? Yeah, I mean, obviously it helped, man. No, but I mean, sometimes it hurts. Like, you sprain your thumb, you jam your thumb, you go check into the game and get smacked the first play you're in, or you fall or something stupid like that. So, it was off and on for a while. My wrist through Orlando, I think I jammed my wrist in the Orlando series, and it was my shooting hand. So, I blame that for the bad shooting. But it happens. I've learned to play through it, and so even trying to think back, I don't really remember games where it was, bothering me too much. I try not to make too many excuses about the stuff like that, because when I play good and I'm hurt, it doesn't matter. So when I play bad and I'm hurt, same thing.
Fred, what does it feel like to be back on Canadian soil, coming home to the champions? Last night, getting off the plane, and all these fans are there, and maybe seeing some of the videos of the celebrations here, millions of people on this.
Yeah, it's good to be back. It's just great to be back. This has become my second home for me and my family, obviously. So just to be back here, and I know we went and did our thing and have fun and everything, but just good to be back, and looking forward to the parade and just enjoying it with the fans. Luckily the streets calmed down a little bit since we won, so we didn't have to go through that. But just looking forward to enjoying this moment with the city and with the people here who've been, itching for this for so long to finally be able to deliver. Is pretty special.
Can you describe the last 48 hours, what it feels like, how it sinks in, and what everything that kind of comes out of that?
Yeah, it's a whirlwind. It's a whirlwind for sure. It's been one long day since the last buzzer went off. First couple of days, I don't know how much sleep I got, but just to be back home for Father's Day, with the babies and everything, it's been good. So, God did his thing with that one. We won a championship, and it rolled right into Father's Day weekend. So I'm on a pretty big high right now, and can't do no wrong, get my feet rubbed, stuff like that. So I'm feeling pretty good. But it's hard to put into words, like just the grind of what it takes to get to that point and to make the playoffs and then be good in the playoffs. And playoffs was about 2 months, so that's a whole nother animal in itself to cap it off and to reach the ultimate goal is it's hard to put that into words.
What comes back to you at that moment? Like, because your whole life has led up to that right there.
Yeah, like I said, you just try to enjoy it. You just try to enjoy the moment. It's weird because we always need something to chase and we need something to aspire to be better. And so it's hard to be content. It's hard to like, you know, I kind of looking around like, all right, well, like, what do we do now? Like, what's next? And, you know, for the most part, just party and enjoy it and have a couple of drinks and enjoy it for a little bit. And then at some point, we'll get back to work and try to do it again. But it's really just a weird feeling for a guy like me who's just always trying to look ahead and look far and beyond what other people expect and what I expect of myself, just reaching, you know, so high and trying to achieve so much to just kind of enjoy it for as much as I can. And that's what your family and friends are for, to kind of bring you back down to earth.
About achieving so much in that last game, I mean, you were the one closing it out. You scored more than anyone else in the fourth. Did it feel surreal at all in that fourth quarter?
No, it didn't, and it felt good. Obviously, I was rolling a little bit in a good zone, and just it happens like that sometimes. So I think the biggest thing for me is like I'm super excited and happy and you know, proud of myself, of my teammates, and this team for what we've done. But it's just like a weird feeling because I'm not as astonished or like amazed that because we kind of like expected to do this, you know. And I know they were shorthanded and everything, but I expect myself to have big games. I expect myself to do that, and you know, I kind of hold myself to that standard. And when I don't play that well, I'm upset. And when I do, it's like, okay, good job. And, you know, we'll try to play even better next time. So I guess just the amazement for me is not the same as it is for everybody else.
Fred, what happened in Vegas?
I think we know how that saying goes. So I'll just leave that there. I'm definitely not the guy to give you guys a play-by-play, but, you know, we enjoyed ourselves for sure.
Fred, no family goes through a whole year without its ups and downs. How well or how good was this team at handling those moments of, you know, when there's an inner conflict or whatever, and you know you get past it?
Yeah, we're pretty good. I think the biggest thing is that it doesn't get outside. You know, this has been a stressful year. I tell you that much. Like each guys went through their own deal. Ups, downs. We got a lot of talent. And we've seen other teams this year, I'm not going to say no names, but we've seen other teams go through things and they couldn't, you know, manage through it. And, like, I think some of that's on your leadership and some of that's on your, you know, the coaches. And then, you know, ultimately it boils down to individual. So I'm sure at some point Norman Powell felt like he should be playing more or whatever the case may be. And maybe he should, but does that implode your team to the point to where when he does get ready to go out there and perform, he's so out of it that because of something that happened, like myself, do I feel like I should be playing more, or in the Philly series, whatever the case may be, like do I get resentful and point fingers and that can blow a team up really fast. And so I think that we just got a lot of good guys and great character and guys who are able to weather the storm. And not, you know, I had bad days myself. I know some other guys did too. But you keep it in-house, you talk it out, you work it out, and just understand that we're all, you know, striving towards one goal. And so we had our fair share of problems this year. It wasn't a fairy tale ride by any stretch, but, you know, you get to hold that trophy up, it makes it all worth it.
What's a characteristic that allows you guys to get through those moments where, like you said, a lot of it is?
Yeah, I think just probably some maturity. You know, most of us are a little older, and just the chemistry and being able to talk it out. Like, even if you have an issue with somebody or something, you know, being able to talk to, if not the direct person you have an issue with or direct thing you have an issue about, talk to your friend, you know, air it out and see what happens. And I think just, you know, understanding nothing, we all come from like real life situations and real things. So at the end of the day, this is our job, and everybody has problems at their job and gossip, and you hate your boss sometimes and whatever the case is. But, you know, if you really love what you do and you love the people you work with, the rest of that stuff it comes and goes.
Fred, if it
think we joke. I mean, I'm not I don't leave anything in the air, so I joke with Kawhi about that from the first couple of times I talked to him. So I didn't have an in-depth conversation with him because it's not really none of my business. And I think that not just him, from him down to whoever you think the last man on the roster is, we don't get in each other's business when it comes to that. So we talk, lightly, and I don't plan on talking to him about it. I think that for us, at least speaking for myself, there's nothing more that we can do. I mean, we've done it. The city's done it. This franchise done it. The coaches have done it. The teammates have done it. We've done our job, and the best way to recruit somebody and is to just be yourself over the course of the year. And I would assume that he knows what is here and what makes this place special. And if it's enough, it'll be enough. And if it's not, then it's not. So we would all love him, and we would all love for him to be back. And if he's not, then we'll move on from there. So it's not the biggest deal in the world. He came here and did what he was supposed to do. So he brought this city a championship, and I think he's earned his freedom in his career to do what he wants to do, and we'll all respect and admire him. And if he's on another team, then we'll just have to kick his ass next year. But hopefully he'll be back.
But given your personal journey, I mean, to the NBA and now playing the championship at the level that you did, also to get that nod for the MVP vote, has that sunk in, or how does that make you feel?
That's just me buttering up Hubie over the last few weeks. Every time I see him, I give him a nice hug, and we talk and chop it up. So that's all that was. But no, I think just some of it's vindicating. You feel some sense of pride in knowing that you were right all along, or knowing that you were right for believing in yourself, and so that feels good. And then to win feels good. But again, when I have 0 points and I tell you it's about the team and it's not about my personal numbers, I really mean that. And so when I have 22 points, it's the same thing. Does it feel a lot better? Yeah, it does. But it's not really about that at the end of the day. It's about winning a championship, and we were able to do that as a unit. And that is something, when you give yourself up for the greater good of the team and give yourself up for something greater than yourself, the reward is so much better than putting all the stock on your personal accomplishments. So to answer your question, it feels great to have played well, in the biggest game of my life, the biggest games of my life. And, I'll try to build on that going forward. But overall, just happy to be an NBA champion.
Does it bother you at all that people don't seem to maybe be giving the team this due? Like they're talking about who the Warriors didn't have, or Anthony Davis trade now. It's kind of like.
I haven't seen it. Honestly, I haven't. I try not to watch a lot of this, especially like the daily shows. You got to come on every day and like find something to talk about. So, I mean, I try not to watch that stuff. Like, half of that stuff is bullshit. We know that. So, guys disagreeing with each other for the sake of TV, contracts, whatever, that whole thing. But again, those guys were undermanned. It's not a secret. While we felt for them and we feel for the individual, like we didn't feel sorry for them, like it sucks. It really does. And it's unfortunate. You never want to see guys get hurt, but it happens every year. It happens every year. It's happened in history before us, and it'll probably happen again, unfortunately. So that's just the way it goes. And we feel like they were tough anyway, so we don't feel like we got it easy by any stretch. We still had to work for it without them having Kevin, and then Clay went down in Game 6 too. So we had our fair share of injuries, nothing that serious, thank God. But that doesn't take anything away from me, and I don't really care what people say.
You got a feeling for who's going to be the most enthusiastic on stage tomorrow?
The only thing is that the parade was so far away from when we actually won, so yeah, you might see some fatigue tomorrow from a few guys. I'm trying to think of who would be the most energetic. I don't know. That's a good one.
Who's gonna be the most?
Pascal, yeah. Most fatigue? That's gonna be a long list, brother. I would say Pascal or Norm will probably live up to the crowd a little bit tomorrow. So we'll see how it goes. It won't be me, I'll tell you that much.
Thank you, everyone.
All right, thank you.